I'm meteorologist Kristana Kate with an update on Hurricane Delta. Gusty conditions continuing to move into parts of the coastal Louisiana communities. 40-mile-an-hour gusts in Houma, seeing about 67-mile-an-hour gusts just off of Vermilion Bay this afternoon. We've been seeing it going back and forth between around 50 to 74 miles an hour. So very strong tropical storm force gusts, even hurricane status just off the coast of Vermilion Bay. Here's where we are right now as of the 1 o'clock advisory. Winds have diminished down just a little bit to 110 miles an hour, but that is now Category 2 strength. This storm is no longer a major hurricane. However, storm surge is still expected to reach up to major hurricane status, which is around Category 3 at least, and continuing to move now towards the northeast around 14 miles an hour, picking up speed as we speak, and it's not really going to be slowing down very much, which is going to allow that tropical storm force winds to really expand into eastern Louisiana and south and central Mississippi through the overnight hours. Here is the latest update on this. Expecting a landfall between around 5 to 7 o'clock this afternoon with a very strong Category 2 storm. Maximum sustained winds around 105 miles an hour. Then it'll move up the coast into parts of Monroe, Louisiana as a tropical storm. Saturday morning, a very strong tropical storm. So that means even for us here in central Mississippi, we could be expecting wind gusts up to around 50, 60 miles an hour at times. Some localized places, especially along southwest Mississippi, could potentially see gusts up to hurricane force conditions overnight tonight into the early morning hours. Here's the latest update on this. Again, that heaviest of the rain starts to make its way through parts of Fayette and Natchez by around 3 to 6 o'clock this evening, and then gusts really start to pick up from Hazelhurst, Fayette down towards Macomb, Natchez. Heavy rain as well up over towards the metro and up into our north and western regions of central Mississippi into the overnight hours. These outer bands we're really going to have to keep an eye on as well, with a chance of any broad spin ups possible into the early morning hours. Gusty winds continuing into the morning and even into parts of the afternoon as well. Not going to be as breezy, but we could still be seeing gusts up to around 20, 30, even 40 miles an hour at times before it eventually starts to make its way out and our wind speeds start to diminish overnight Saturday into Sunday. Keep it right here. We'll have another update on Hurricane Delta in an hour.